Welcome to Zone 6 Picks, your go-to source for daily sports betting predictions, expert insights, and free picks across the biggest games in the NBA, WNBA, NFL, MLB, NCAA, and more. We specialize in delivering accurate, research-backed betting content with no subscriptions, no hidden fees, just straightforward betting advice you can trust. Before we get started, a quick shout-out from my partner Zone 6.
What's up, family? Thanks for tapping in with Zone 6 Picks, where we drop game picks every single day. Straight free picks, no pay for play. If you like winning, this is the zone you need to be in, Zone 6. Just show the channel some love, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring that bell so you don't never miss a money play. Let's eat.
The homie Sean Atterbury is right. Salute to you, sir. Zone 6 is getting hot, and we don't plan on cooling down, so let's lock in. First, we head to Connecticut for the Sunday matchup on August 17th between the Indiana Fever and the Connecticut Sun. This game brings an intriguing angle for bettors, with the Sun listed as plus 6.5 underdogs at home. On paper, the Fever have the stronger season overall, but several key factors tilt the spread analysis toward Connecticut. The most compelling edge comes from the historical against-the-spread performance in this head-to-head series. The Sun have dominated this matchup from a betting perspective, covering the number in 22 of their last 23 meetings with Indiana. Even more striking, they've covered in 17 consecutive home matchups against the Fever. Those trends aren't flukes. They point to Connecticut consistently playing Indiana tougher than expected. The Fever come into this contest dealing with injuries to some major contributors, including Caitlin Clark, Sydney Carlson, and Ari McDonald. Clark's absence is especially critical, as she's been the primary offensive engine. Without her, Indiana's scoring efficiency tends to dip, particularly in road games where they already average fewer points. Meanwhile, Connecticut may be just 6-26 on the season, but they enter this matchup with some subtle advantages. They'll be on their home court at Mohegan Sun Arena, where they typically generate stronger offensive outputs. They also hold a slight rest advantage, having last played on August 13th compared to Indiana's August 15th outing. That extra recovery time matters in a league this physically demanding. The Fever themselves are not in peak form. They've dropped 4 of their last 5 games, including a stumble against the Mystics in their latest outing. While they remain a strong overall team, their recent struggles combined with the injury losses create an opportunity for the Sun to keep this game closer than the spread suggests. Defensively, Connecticut has struggled all season, allowing over 86 points per game, but the matchup history with Indiana shows a consistent ability to compete and cover. That resilience in this specific series, combined with the situational edges, makes the Sun the sharper side of the play. Projected score, Indiana Fever 80, Connecticut Sun 75. That result would give Indiana the straight-up win, but put the Sun comfortably inside the plus 6.5 spread, making them the play in this matchup. Next, let's take a ride to the nation's capital, where the LA Sparks and the Washington Mystics are set to battle at the Care First Arena in Washington. With playoff positioning on the line, both teams will be bringing urgency into this contest, but the Sparks appear to have the stronger case heading into the matchup. LA enters with a 16-17 record, and sits just a half game back of Seattle for the 8th seed. They've been one of the hottest teams in the league over the last month, going 10-3 in their last 13 games. That stretch includes 2 convincing wins over Washington in late July, when they put up 99-80 and 93-86 victories. Since mid-July, their offense has been nearly unstoppable, averaging close to 94 points per game and scoring 90-plus in 11 of their last 13 outings. That kind of consistency on the offensive end makes them a dangerous team to fade right now. Washington, at 15-18, is fighting to keep pace in the standings, but they've been more inconsistent. While they've won 2 of their last 3, including an 88-84 comeback against Indiana, they've dropped 5 of their last 7 overall. The trade of Brittany Sykes and the ongoing absence of Shakira Austin have left them without 2 of their key scorers who played big roles in previous games against LA, even with the emergence of Sonia Citron and Kiki Iriafen. The Mystics have lacked the firepower to match high-octane opponents. Statistically, the Sparks hold the clear edge. They average nearly 87 points per game, about 6 more than Washington typically allows. Meanwhile, the Mystics put up just 79 points per game, almost 10 fewer than what LA tends to give up defensively. The Sparks' offense has reached another level lately, putting up 94 or more in 6 of their last 7 games. Historically, Washington has been strong against the spread in this series, covering in 14 of the last 15 meetings at larger numbers. But the current form and urgency favor LA with their offense firing and their playoff hopes on the line. The Sparks are in a good position to not only win, but cover the 3.5 spread. Projected outcome: LA Sparks 92, Washington Mystics 84. That scoreline reflects the Sparks' offensive momentum, while acknowledging Washington's ability to compete. But ultimately, the Sparks has the edge to cover. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Accept the bag when we cash in this matchup between the Dallas Wings and the Las Vegas Aces, squaring off in Las Vegas with the Aces set as heavy -9.5 favorites on their home court. While Las Vegas is expected to win outright, this spread creates a different angle, and the Dallas Wings have the tools to keep the matchup competitive enough to cover. The Aces enter on a 6-game winning streak and now sit at 20-14 overall. Aja Wilson continues to put up MVP-level numbers, averaging over 22 points and 10 rebounds per game, while Jackie Young remains an all-around force. But despite their winning record, Las Vegas has not been dominant against the spread. They sit at just 15-18 ATS overall and 7-9 ATS at home. As favorites, they've covered only 13 of 25, and that makes laying nearly double digits a tricky proposition. Dallas at 9-25 is far from a contender in the standings, but they've been a surprisingly reliable team for bettors. They are 17-17 against the spread this season, and more importantly, they've been very effective as underdogs in big-number situations. The Wings are 5-2 ATS as double-digit dogs, proving their ability to hang around against superior opponents. In 3 meetings with the Aces this season, 2 of those games finished within single digits, which lines up with that trend. Player availability also plays a role here. The Wings will be without Tyasha Harris, and Arik Ogunbowl remains day-to-day. But rookie Paige Buchers has stepped up in a big way. She poured in 29 points in their last game, and has shown the ability to score at will, including against the Aces' defense. Her emergence gives Dallas a dangerous scoring option, capable of carrying the offense. Statistically, Dallas averages 84.5 points per game, but allows nearly 90, making them one of the worst defensive units in the league. They struggle from 3-point range on both ends, but their third-ranked pace creates enough possessions to keep games from getting out of hand. Las Vegas, meanwhile, averages 84.7 points per game while allowing 85.3, ranking in the bottom half defensively themselves. With both teams playing fast, the pace could actually favor the underdog, as more possessions create more room for variance. Considering the Wings' proven resilience against large spreads, their ability to keep previous matchups against the Aces close, and Paige Buchers' impact as a scorer, the play here leans toward Dallas staying within the number. Projected outcome: Las Vegas Aces 91, Dallas Wings 84. That score would give the Aces another win, but allow the Wings to cover the plus 9.5 spread. Let's head to Seattle, where they have more dogs than children. The Phoenix Mercury are coming to town to take on the Seattle Storm. Speaking of dogs, the betting line reflects that, with the Mercury favored by just 1.5 points on the road. But after diving into recent form, head-to-head trends, player availability, and statistical profiles, I lean toward Phoenix to cover and come away with the win. Phoenix enters this game at 19-13, holding a slightly stronger record than Seattle's 17-17. The Mercury are coming off back-to-back losses, including a narrow 83-86 defeat to Las Vegas, while the Storm just snapped a 6-game losing streak with a slim 2-point win over Atlanta. Both teams have shown vulnerability, but Phoenix's ceiling remains higher, especially with their roster finally healthy. This will be the first time the Storm see Phoenix at full strength, with Alyssa Thomas, Sadu Sabally, and Kali Copper all expected to be available. That trio's impact on both ends of the floor can swing the balance. The Storm, on the other hand, continue to show late-game struggles. 5 of their last 6 losses have come by 4 points or fewer, and even in their win over Atlanta, they were badly outscored in the fourth quarter. Closing out games has been a consistent issue, and their ATS record at home reflects that. Just 5-12 against the number in Seattle this season. Statistically, Phoenix owns the edge defensively, ranking 3rd in the league by holding opponents under 80 points per game. Offensively, they average just over 83, a number that should hold up against a Storm defense that has allowed at least 85 in 4 of their last 5 contests. Seattle averages 81.7 points, but lacks the consistent defensive presence needed to slow down a balanced Mercury attack. Key absences add another layer. The Storm will be without Katie Lou Samuelson and Gabby Williams, whose status is day-to-day, may play but will do so banged up. Depth has been an issue for Seattle, and any loss of rotation pieces only amplifies that concern. When you combine Phoenix's superior defense, their offensive firepower with a healthy lineup, and Seattle's inability to close games, the edge leans to the Mercury. Projected score: Phoenix Mercury 80, Seattle Storm 78. That result reflects a close battle, but one where Phoenix does enough to cover the -1.5 spread and get back in the win column. To end the night, we find ourselves on the west side where the home squad, the Atlanta Dream, are in San Francisco, facing the Golden State Valkyries, with the spread sitting at +3.5 for the Valkyries at home. This game presents an interesting betting angle. Atlanta may be the favorite to win outright, but Golden State's strengths at home make them a strong candidate to cover the number. The Dream enter at 21-12, riding an impressive 6-game winning streak on the road. Their consistency away from home has been one of their defining traits this season, but they showed some cracks in their most recent outing, falling 80-78 to Seattle. That loss reminded bettors that while Atlanta is dangerous, they are not immune to tight contests. Golden State at 18-15 has proven to be a tough opponent, particularly on their home floor. The Valkyries boast the league's top home defense, allowing just 72.4 points per game at Chase Center. That defensive edge is critical against an Atlanta offense that averages nearly 83 points on the road. If the Valkyries can dictate pace and limit transition opportunities, they are more than capable of keeping the game within reach. Momentum also leans in Golden State's favor. They're coming off a statement 90-59 win over Chicago on the road, one of their most dominant performances of the season. That kind of victory builds confidence, especially heading back home, where their defensive identity is strongest. From a roster standpoint, Atlanta will be missing Jordan Canada, whose absence affects their offensive rhythm and overall depth. Golden State will be without Kayla Thornton and Monique Billings, but their recent stretch shows they've been able to adjust without losing balance. Against the spread, the Valkyries have been reliable at home, posting a 5-3 ATS record. They've also covered in 3 of their last 5 head-to-head meetings with Atlanta. The Dream, meanwhile, have been excellent as road bets with a 12-6 ATS record, including 6 straight covers away from home. But the matchup here presents one of their toughest defensive tests of the season. Projected score: Atlanta Dream 78, Golden State Valkyries 75. That projection points to an Atlanta win, but by a slim margin, giving Golden State enough room to comfortably cover the +3.5 spread on their home court. All right, good people, let's run it back. We've got the Connecticut Sun covering the +6.5 at home against the Indiana Fever, the Sparks to cover the -3.5 at DC against the Mystics, the Dallas Wings staying within the +9.5 spread on the road against the Aces, the Phoenix Mercury covering the -1.5 on the road against the Seattle Storm, and finally, the Golden State Valkyries covering the +3.5 at home against the Atlanta Dream. That's the full rundown for Sunday's slate. Thanks for tapping in with Zone 6 picks. Make sure you like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss tomorrow's or the next day, or the next day, or the next day after that, because the marathon continues and we eat. I'll see you on the next one, Zone 6 gang.